Hey everyone, welcome back, and let's write some more Leetcode today. So today let's solve the problem, apply operations to an array. Pretty straightforward problem description. For an easy problem, I think there are actually some decent things that you can learn from it. I'll try to be focusing on that, but first let's start with the problem description and then the solution, and then some of the insights that I'd like to share. So we're given an input array of n numbers, and I mean, the way this problem description is worded, I think it's a little overly complicated. Basically, what they want us to do is look at every pair starting from the beginning. So we're looking at this pair. If the pairs, like this pair of elements, has values that are equal to each other, then we want to perform a certain operation. Right now, they are not equal, so we're not going to perform that operation. Now, we look at the next pair, so looking at these two, they are equal, so we perform the operation. The operation basically is to take this value, turn it into a 0, and then take this value and double it. So now this is going to be 4. So in some sense, you can think of it as taking this value and adding it to this value, because since they're both equal, it's pretty much the same thing as like doubling this is the same thing as just moving that over here. But either way, think about it however you want to. The result will still be the same. Now we have a 4 and a 0 here. So now we will look at the next pair of values. We're looking over here, and the value that we changed is now going to be like the new value. So keep that in mind. We're not looking at the original value. We are looking at the new value. Now these two are not equal, so we continue. These two are equal, so same thing. Turn this into a 0, turn this into a 2. Looking at the next pair of values, I mean, they're both 0, but the operation won't really do anything right now. We can turn this into a 0 and we can double that. It's not really going to change anything, so they both stay as 0. So now the new array, if I could draw it out, would look like this: 1, 4, 0, 2, 0. Now we're almost done. The only thing we want to do to this is take all of the non-zero values and then basically shift them all the way to the beginning. So the relative order should still be the same though. So we already have 1 and 4 here. We just want to take this 2 and kind of move it over here. So we'd get something like this: 2 and then 0, and then the remaining zeros are over there. And so this is what we want to return. There are multiple ways to do this. I think the most straightforward would be, I mean, the first thing that we're doing, the first step of the algorithm, just doing the operations, that's pretty straightforward to do. The second part, which is sort of performing a partition, that's also very easy to do if we use a separate array. So if we create a new array, then we can just scan through all of the values and append them to the beginning. So 1, 4, 2. And then we can fill the remaining zeros over here: 0, 0, 0. That'd be really easy to do, but actually this is possible to do it in place. Now, if you're familiar with the quicksort algorithm, which you probably should be, it's a very fundamental algorithm. Even if you're not going to implement it in a coding interview, there are a lot of things you can learn from that algorithm that are actually applied to all sorts of Leetcode problems. So I recommend most people learning it. If you want to learn it on Leetcode.io, there is this Algorithms for Beginners course that you can check out. So going to quicksort, there is a lesson here on quicksort, and you can like implement it yourself. But there's one specific thing about quicksort that's very interesting, and it is that quicksort is not a stable algorithm. And the reason for that actually is the way that the quicksort partition works. It doesn't always maintain the relative order of elements. But in the problem that we're trying to solve right now, the relative order is important. So you're probably thinking, well, how am I going to use literally the partition from quicksort to solve today's problem? And it's very, very subtle. So let me actually try to slowly explain it to you. We actually can do this in place while maintaining the relative order of elements. First, let me just show you that, and then let me try to quickly explain why it doesn't work in the quicksort algorithm. So we'll stick with this example, but it would work on any example. So what we're going to do is we are going to do this in place, what I'm going to do is have a left pointer, which is going to be at the beginning of this array. And then I'm going to have an I pointer that's going to iterate through that. What I'm going to do is if my I pointer ever sees a value that's not 0, then I'm going to swap the value at index I with the value at the left pointer. I mean, right now they're at the same index, so I'm not really doing anything, but that's fine. You can see that that cleanly works out. This value stays there. And after I perform a swap, I'm going to take my left pointer and shift it. The I pointer is always going to be incremented after we look at an element, but the left pointer will only be shifted after we performed a swap. So now, once again, we look at this element, it's not 0, we perform a swap again, so we will shift both pointers, left will be here, and I will be here. Now we see a value that's 0, so we don't perform a swap. We will increment our I pointer, but our left pointer will stay here. The reason the left pointer is there, it tells us that next time you see a non-zero value, make sure to put it over here. That's the next available spot. These two spots were already filled. So now we see a value. It's not 0. So swap it with that. So we do perform that swap. This will be 2. This will be 0. And now my left pointer will be shifted over here. My I pointer will be over here. This is 0. We ignore it. This is 0. We ignore it. I pointer has gone out of bounds. We are done. We performed the partition. And I can tell you that this will always work, but why doesn't it work in quicksort? Why does the relative order not stay the same? Well, technically, the way we're doing this partition, the relative order actually is not being maintained. The values that are non-zero, the order of those elements is maintained, but what about the zeros? The relative order of the zeros isn't actually guaranteed to be maintained. It's very subtle. And that's the whole point of the partition in quicksort. The quicksort partition will sort the elements, but if there were a tie, if there were like multiple elements that were 5, for example, the relative order of those would not be maintained. But we don't really care about the relative order of the zeros. It doesn't change the answer at all. We only care about the relative order of the other elements, and that definitely will be maintained. Again, it's a very subtle point. I don't want to go like super in depth into it, but in case like that is something you are wondering, that is why. Okay, now let's code this up. It's going to be linear time and constant space. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is in place, I'm going to apply the operation. So let's say for I in range, length of nums minus 1, what I'm going to do is if the value at I is equal to value at I plus 1, then we do the operation where nums of I is going to be doubled. Can do that like this. Nums of I plus 1 is going to be set to 0. After that, we will do the partition, moving all non-zeros to the left. So I'll have my left pointer set to 0. I'll have my I pointer, or I could call it the right pointer, it doesn't really matter, going through every element, and we will ultimately return nums, the input. We didn't create any extra space for this. I don't know if they actually want us to do it in place or not, but this is how to do it in place. We could have actually allocated like a separate array as well. That would have been pretty easy, but doing it this way, we can do this. If the number is non-zero, then we will perform a swap between the element at index I and the element at the left pointer. So like this. Python actually allows you to do it in one line. So the value at left will be assigned here. The value at I will be assigned to the left pointer. And don't forget to increment the left pointer. The I pointer will always be incremented just as we're going through the input, like iterating with the for loop, but this we have to do manually. Okay, that's the entire code. Let me run it for you. And as you can see, it works and it's pretty efficient. If you found this helpful, check out Leetcode.io for a lot more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.